Hi guys, we had a little bit of problem with the video recording it right after the break, so I thought I would come in here and do a little training so you guys don't miss the best part of it, which is the wow statement. So I'll share my screen with you. And on page 8 of your manual is where we left off. And so now I'm going to teach you what's called wow statements. And this is really where this big shift comes from selling to enrolling the homeowners for their reason. This is what is going to up level your skills overnight and really make a difference for you in the marketplace. It's what I like to call the secret sauce, because people will pay more money, like I said before, for a service professional than will a salesperson. And they trust a service professional over much more than a salesperson. So here's what we're going to do. It's all about educating the homeowner. Education outsells facts and features. It's market education and market data. It's focusing on the benefits versus the facts and features. So what information is going to cause them to salivate for your solution? You're getting them to focus on what we talked about last week, the red, so the problem, before you show your solution. Problem first, solution second. So the first one is market knowledge is more powerful than, and then product knowledge. What education, so think of it from a perspective of what education is needed for your customers to get them fully associated with their problems. Is it education on health? Is it education on comfort? Is it toxicity or energy use? Because from this, we're going to then create our market data, our market statistics, trends over time. We're going to create our wow statement. So what's going to get them to salivate for your solution? Meaning it's not the number of BTUs or the SEER rating or the noise level. That might help, but what's really going to work is educating them. What causes them to salivate is the wow statement, where they go, crap, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that indoor air quality was so bad. I didn't realize that forest fires, the toxicity from the forest fires and that smoke getting in through my house and having to be inside, that 90% of the time, we're spending more than 90% of the time indoors now than we were before. Didn't realize that forest fires have gone from 30 to 300. Those are stats. That's market data. It's going to help them identify with the fact that what they may have not known, or now they realize that it's a bigger problem. So that's what the wow statements do. They make you go, wow, and they're usually focused on the negative or what's missing. So what's causing the pain and what's causing them pain of not changing? For example, it could be a more efficient unit, saving money. Knowing the SEER rating BTUs, like I said before, is a lesser reason why they'll buy. The homeowners need to see that what they're going to get from that power rating was it going to solve their problems? Like again, health, comfort, toxicity, or energy use. So it comes down to creating the wow statements. And we're going to do that and create those from our data research and our market research as well, our trends. So the awareness and understanding of why they need to change. Also the agitation, meaning an undisturbed prospect won't buy. This is where the true distinction changes from facts and features to what's causing that homeowner to make that decision. This is where you will stand out from the crowd. So an example is, what percentage of people researching, and the guy spent some time doing some research, what percentage of time are people like spending at home? Is it 5 or 6 hours of sleep, with the sleep included, maybe a total of 12 to 15 hours at home? Now they're spending 18 hours, 24 hours if they work from home. So you're educating the customer, not selling them. And then the book on the module, I believe it was page 10 in the manual. I gave some questions of examples to research to get them going. How much have energy prices increased over the last 5 years or 20 years? If you can show a trend, even stats or a graph over time, that's even more powerful. What impact does your old HVAC system have on the carbon footprint, if it's somebody who's really concerned about that? How have recent forest fires, are taking up more time off work? How are they impacting people? What's the value of a good night's sleep? What's the negative impacts of a poor sleep? Temperature and humidity noise how's that affecting your sleep quality? What are the negative impacts of people's breathing issues or allergies? How many building materials negatively impact indoor air quality? And then how has indoor air quality changed or been affected over the past 20 to 25 years? So these are just some suggestions to get them going and researching. I like to look at what your products you're selling, what's the benefit of those products, and then what's the negative side of that, and then research that so you can have the conversation with the homeowner. So you're actually educating them. Last summer, I think it was August, Stats Canada reported in August 2023 that July was a record-breaking high. There's 128% surge in power prices. And because of that, in our province, it literally upped the power prices by 11.7, increased nationwide. So what's the average life of an energy HVAC system? Could be 10 years, might be X kilowatt hours before, and here's how many, this like now. So think of it as, what do we need to educate them on? What are they looking for? What's the benefit? So research the data to educate the client. That makes them a more informed decision as to why they're going to spend $5,000 on a unit. We talked in the discussion, I think it's on the next video, where we talked about like charcoal filters, $80 to put them in, or whatever it costs to put them in. That should be an easy conversation with the homeowner if you bring up the benefit of it and start talking about indoor air quality and pollutants and bring up stats. Then it becomes a no-brainer where it takes the price out of the equation. So the wow statements are to embellish a problem that they knew they had, or introduce them to a problem they didn't know they had. And you want to open it up with them and you can use it with mind reading. You're probably thinking, or you're probably wondering, like we talked last week, you may be wondering what the impact of indoor air quality has on your family's health. So you're asking that question, or you're asking that question, and then you're following up with the wow statement, which is, I'm curious, did you know that the EPA states that the indoor air quality is 5 times more toxic than outdoor air quality? And in some cases, levels can exceed 100 times that of outdoor levels of the same pollutants. So you want to ask a question first from your agitation questions that we talked about last week, and then that we went over earlier in the morning. So you use those questions to get information from them. Then from there, you build on and create your wow statement. I'm curious, did you know that building gas materials off-gassing dangerous toxins into the air? You may be wondering what the impact of that is on your health. And then you can go into some of the impacts that has on the health. Are you concerned about rising energy costs and what your older or less efficient energy unit is costing you to run each summer? Did you know that the air conditioner that's 10 years old is costing X amount more money than a new one would be? Even a 10-year-old unit may cost 20 to 40% more cooling costs. So the first is to know your prospect's needs and wants from the previous sets of questions you asked. You can spotlight the effects of their problems and then prescribe a unique solution that better fits them. So we're literally gathering information, what's working, what's not working, what are the problems, what are the issues, what are the challenges? And then it's like, hey, kudos for thinking about that, because the real issue is indoor air quality. It's comfort, it's health. It's not what color the unit is or how many BTUs, like I said before. What's important is that their kids are growing up in a safer environment. What's important is that you're protecting your health. What's important is you're giving yourself the advantages and the benefits of not having to deal with external pollutions and indoor quality or erosion. Those are the compelling reasons for people making their decisions to buy. It's really about the impact, like I said, on the family's health, the well-being, the comfort, and lifestyle. So that's what I mean about wow statements. It's collecting the market data, market information, and market research. So from there, the guys put on their thinking caps. They did a really good job of researching, going through their products, and then researching and coming up with next week's homework is to come up with 3 wow statements. And I suggested that for a company is taking a look at your products, your water softeners, your RO systems, AC units, furnaces, hot water tanks, air filtration, air purification. Take a look at your products and brainstorm them. And then what questions can they ask as they're driving up to the house? Like one of the guys said, you can like literally research before you even go up. But what my suggestion is to have your top products and then have a wow statement created for each one of those products. This is going to be the most leverage you're going to have with the homeowner, because most contractors are talking about the energy efficiency of the unit, the SEER rating. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. This is what you get. And this is what it's going to cost. Again, don't get me wrong. The facts and features have their place in a conversation. but that's really not what people are buying. What they really want to know is, are my children going to be safe? How am I breathing in this tight envelope, right, with all the toxins? How does indoor air quality impact my health and well-being of my family, or productivity if they're working from home? So that's what we mean about wow statements. They dove into it, and the rest of it you can see on the other video. Here's a couple more slides I showed. Is I searched how many deaths in Canada per year by carbon monoxide poisoning. And this is what came up, that CO poisoning is a significant public health concern in Canada, responsible for an estimated 300 deaths and 200 hospitalizations each year. That's huge. Next, what are the dangers of an older hot water tank? Older hot water tanks are dangerous, especially if they've not been maintained well. Mold, growth, bacteria, and so on and so forth. So you can even search into this, different percentages of not maintaining them. What are the effects of that? I know Ashley was looking into some of that stuff with the maintenance side, and she was doing some research there. She did a great job. What are some of the stats on people becoming ill from indoor air quality? This was World Health Organization. So in the world, household air pollution was responsible for an estimated 3.2 million deaths in 2020, including 237 deaths from children under the age of 5. So again, the indoor air pollutants, what kind of, look at the products that can help with that, and then talk about, like I said, the stats and the market data research. So there you go, I believe. Oh, and I had one more. Search asthma statistics in Canada. Across Canada, asthma affects the lives of more than 3.8 million Canadians and is the third most common chronic disease, estimated 250 Canadians. 250 Canadians with asthma lose their lives a year. And I know breathing issues is a real problem, especially with the fires coming up. So what kind of products can you put in for that? And whatchamacallit, sorry, I'm just trying to blank over. Mike was talking about the iWave, how the iWave, he watched a video where you can literally put smoke in it. We actually have an iWave in our home. So that's it for now. And yeah, we'll see you not next week because you guys are away next week, but we'll see you the week after. Take care.